Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. As you can see from the title, it's a slightly different video, but I'm so excited to make it. So surviving long distance is something I'm so passionate about because, well, my husband and I did it for about 2 years. A little bit of context, we have been married for 8 years now and we've been together for 10, which is so crazy to me. But now looking back at it, thinking everything that we did to kind of survive long distance, if that's what you want to call it, I think it was so helpful to know, and just things that I was looking up on how, we can connect and stuff like that. So I hope this helps somebody or helps multiple people that are kind of going through it. But I don't want to ramble too much, so let's just get into it. So my first point is, I think it's so important to kind of start and end the day together. And I know that's not always feasible because people are in different time zones. For us, we were about 5.5 hours apart. But a little bit of backstory again, he did travel a lot and he also had like rehearsals at like weird times. So it was not always possible to do this, but we always made it a point, even if it was a text, even if it was just like a minute call, just to kind of say, hey, good morning, like I'm thinking of you, or like good night, I had a good day. I think it's just so important, and it helps you kind of continue to build on that emotional bond as well, which is at the end of the day all you have in a long distance relationship is that emotional bond. I think it's quality over quantity. I don't think you need to sit down and talk for like an hour a day. Like if that's what works for you, great, but for us, I think it was the little check-ins throughout the day that really helped us kind of stay connected. He knew what I was doing, I knew what he was doing, so it kind of made you feel like you were still living one life, if that makes sense, and not two different lives. I think the second point that is so important is having an end goal, knowing when and how you're gonna end your distance. And again, like I said, not always feasible, but always like maybe making a plan that, okay, this is gonna potentially be our end goal, because this kind of gives both of you something to work towards. Now for my husband and I, we knew that we had kind of like a 3-year plan. Yes, we cut it shorter to like a 1.5-year plan, but like I said, it's a constant conversation. Be like, okay, maybe after university we can try and make it work, or maybe after you get this role in your job, and then maybe you can kind of like transfer here. So I think it's just so important to have something to work towards, because I think in a long distance relationship it can like feel never ending, and the point of it is to eventually end and be in an you're still in a relationship, but kind of being in a relationship together. In anything in life, having a goal gives you something to work towards, and I think it's the same in a relationship. Kind of treat it as a goal, because at the end of the day, it's so worth it. This third point is kind of interesting, but it's also maintaining trust or building trust, and also having your own independence. Now, I think it's so important to obviously have transparency in a relationship. And in a long distance relationship, sometimes there can just be so many emotions that you kind of just have surface level conversations and you don't really get deep. So I think it's very important to just really emote and kind of tell your partner exactly how you're feeling, even though you might not be able to find the words for it. I think eventually just kind of trying to have that open communication, just eventually you're able to verbalize exactly how you're feeling, because I know that's probably so hard to sometimes tell someone else when you're so far apart exactly how you're feeling, because they can't see it, and a lot of misunderstandings can also occur. But I think that is something that is so important and really does help trust, build trust, is transparency. And the second point in that point is building your own independence. So kind of having your own routine, your own friends, your own social life, your own work life. I think it's so important to still be an individual, and it can be really, and this is something I feel like I've learned like now. Although we did do that back then, I think it's definitely something I could have worked on. He was really good at it, but I think I struggled in that department. And looking back, that definitely is something that is so important, is kind of having your own thing as well. I think it's so important to encourage your own growth and also encourage your partner's growth. It's so important to grow as two different people and then come together as one. So I think it's important to grow together, but also individually, because at the end of the day, if we're not growing, we're not moving. So I think it's so, okay, the amount of times I'm going to say important in this video is when you put a little count there, so ignore that. I think it's so crucial to grow as your own individual person. This could also come in like handling challenges on your own. You can definitely talk to your partner about it, but it's also important for you to kind of be able to handle your own life challenges. And again, this comes with kind of building your own strength and your own confidence and your own personality at the end of the day. And that's what really made you and your partner fall in love with one another. So not forgetting that you are your own individual person, because at the end of the day, that's what partners kind of loved about each other. So I think that is definitely one important point, is just growing you and focusing on yourself as well as your partner. So not forgetting that, because I know in a long distance relationship it can kind of feel like that's the only thing that's going on in your life, but nah, there's a lot more to life. And I think it's very important to kind of just embrace that season of life, but not forgetting that you are also important. I really like this point. So the point of like involving your partner in your life. So for example, you're going out with a couple of friends and you've just moved to a new city, but your partner's still, like, whether it's in your hometown or maybe somewhere that you both lived and then now you're moving away. I don't know how this is going to come across, but when I say involving each other in your lives, it's like, okay, actually mentioning the names of your friends and stuff like that. And also maybe, getting your friends to like talk to your partners. Like everybody kind of feels involved with one another, and it doesn't feel like two different circles. It can also feel like a one big circle, which is what really helped us. I think a lot of my friends kind of knew him. I knew a lot of his friends, and I really liked it because it really did kind of keep us together, because we had a lot of like mutual friends and people we would still kind of talk about as a whole. I think to like build up on that point, it's kind of just like giving a lot of detail through your day, so people can your partner can like visualize like, oh, this is what she's doing. Oh yeah, you go there a lot. Oh, you love that place. So again, that partner can kind of still keep growing with you, because you are constantly sharing like, oh, what you love, what you don't love, what you're doing on a daily basis in like such detail. So I think that is definitely something that helped us, because we were very specific about what we were doing and stuff. And not because it was like a trust thing or anything like that. I think it was just like, I really wanted him to know what I was doing through the day, so he can kind of like be a part of my life, and he knows exactly what I like, what I don't like, because you can really change in a year. We did not see each other for a whole year, and even though we were so communicative, we shared so much, when we met in person, he was so different and so was I. And like, I think it took time to like really adjust who we have become. So I think the more specific you can be, the better it could be for your relationship. And I think my last point for the day will be having patience with one another. Like I said, long distance can be really, really hard. And I think, not every day was a great day. There's some days that I was just feeling like I didn't really want to talk, because I was just a little bit sad, and that would make me feel, or that would make him feel like I'm being distant. So I think just really like giving each other some space as well, and also just kind of having like patience with one another and being able to communicate, hey, this is how I'm feeling. It's not a you thing, it's a me thing. And I know that sounds like such a cliche, but I think it's very important to understand that everyone feels things differently. And I think now looking back at it, I'm now realizing that, oh, maybe I didn't do that so well, because like I used to immediately think like, oh, maybe he's having second thoughts. And like, although I had such trust and like we built such a beautiful foundation to our relationship, but when you're apart for so long and you haven't seen someone, yeah, doubts are going to get into your head. So I think just like not letting those negative thoughts get into your brain, and just also really understanding that everybody processes things differently. All I want to say is that long distance is so hard, and everybody has their own journey. I think it'll give you a lot of perspective, whether this person is the right person for you as well. And I really do hope that if you're watching this has helped you, because I know that this is everything I've learned and things that really helped me and my husband kind of survive this whole long distance relationship thing. Let me know if you want a part 2, because I think I still have a lot of points and a lot of things I want to say about it. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope you have a great day.